What's up guys, welcome back to another video with the Scion FRs and the JZ Swap. So today we're going to be installing the Powerhouse Racing's IVAC sensor and also the drive-by-wire delete kit from Driftmotion. This application we apply to the ETCS 110 because it comes with the electronic throttle control system. But before that, I wanted to give you guys an update of what is been happening with the JZ Swap and also why do we have a K-series motor sitting in the garage. Alright, so here's the 1jz swap on the FRS. A lot of progress, everything is looking really well in here. We are not replacing the K24A2 for the JZ. The JZ is gonna stay on the FRS. This K24A2, I got it because it was in a good price and also I wanted to learn something new. I am actually looking for chassis to put this in. I'm still looking around. I'm not really sure where I'm gonna put it in yet. But yeah, you know, the main purpose of this is about learning the motor, you know. Hey, maybe this is gonna be the future, you know, for all the drift cars and stuff, you know, because this is really cheap compared to this, you know. This is a $700 motor and this is a $3,000 motor and the price keeps going up. So we got new plans for this build. This is going to be I guess a daily driving build, you know, something that is going to be really good taken care of. Meanwhile, for the K24, I'm planning to build a drift car with this motor because of the lightweight, you know, and you know, it's crazy cheap. So we could choose probably blow 5 of this up instead of like blow 5 of this up, you know. I mean, back in the day it was really worth it. I remember when I got my first JZ, you know, with the R154, it was like it was literally about 2,800. Now this day, you know, 2021, you're looking to spend about 7 grand, you know, so which is crazy. You know, we could just build one of this, you know, something different, probably, I don't know, man. So that's the plan. So here's the update, you know, for the JZ. So I did the feed line. This is the -4AN feed line that goes around the turbo manifold. That's actually come out from the block, from this plug over here, this fitting over here. Oops. Another thing that I did is I actually made it the return line. This is a -10AN, right? That's going for the drain from the turbo and to the oil pan. Okay, everything is heat isolated as per this company. What is this? This is the DEI. You can buy this on Amazon. It's pretty much rated for 5,000 Fahrenheit, so before, I guess, melting point. So the plan for this turbo manifold, I'm probably gonna end it up like wrapping it up with heat wrap, you know, just to prevent any type of heat soak and, you know, burn and stuff like that. You know, you don't want to have your manifold, you know, burn to some wires or some lines. And I mean, it is really nice to keep it, to just leave it as it is, but hey, you know, I don't want to have crazy heat in here. So another thing that I did is actually, well, you guys, you know, saw the video. We installed the 1050X injector from my Injector Dynamics. Those are in already. We actually redid all the fuel lines. The flex fuel sensor is in as well. Look at that. How clean it looks. Very organized. I like this build a lot, you know. Let me just turn this camera. So this is the outlet, right? From the stock fuel rail, comes through the fuel pressure regulator. We have our fuel pressure sensor here. This actually brings signal into the ECU. We have our digital gauge over here for our fuel pressure regulator. We have the fuel return lines here that comes out from the fuel pressure regulator to the flex fuel sensor. And this line over here is actually go back into the tank. So everything, it is pretty much set. I'm gonna have to pull the motor one more time just because I need to fit the transmission. I still gotta do a whole bunch of stuff like under the tranny. I still gotta, you know, put this line together. This is the heater cord line. I haven't done any of that yet. And here for the lower radiator support, I actually banded up this pipe this is actually a DOM tubing, right? I mean, we do definitely need some type of structure rigidity in the front. So this is gonna sit as it is, like this, right? So there's a mark on both sides of it. So I'm actually planning to do like a 45, like a 35 cut in here, box it up and weld this on so we can have some clearance for the crank pulley, right? I mean, it is a project, so like I said, we do need some type of, you know, structural rigidity on the front. You know, without this is actually, it's holding up this control arm over here. So I mean, you cannot just let that hanging though, you know, like happened on a 240. I don't want that really to happen again. The 240, because I was lazy at the beginning of the build, I chopped out like half of the lower radiator support, right? Where the cross member is sitting. That thing was really flimsy, so it ended up like breaking on the track. So, you know, that's not a good thing. That's the whole plan. Today, like I said, we're gonna be installing the Powerhouse Racing IVAC sensor. This is actually a 4 sensor, you know, for idle control. So the JZX 110 doesn't have a IVAC control valve like the JZX 100. So yeah, so pretty much we're gonna be installing that today onto the intake manifold. We do actually have to pull the intake manifold, so you don't really want to have any of the intake residue, you know, falling into your lower plenum and then going back into the cylinder. That could cause, you know, a lot of problems. So we're taking all this out today. We're gonna be working the bench, so let's get started. All right, so pretty much here is the 1jz VVTi JZX 110 intake manifold. So there's a little difference between the JZX 100 and the 110. The JZX 100 actually have the IVAC control valve. The JZX 110 it doesn't. The JZX 100 doesn't have the electronic control system that is drive-by-wire. The JZX 110 it does. So that's what we're gonna do today. So we're gonna be putting a aftermarket IVAC control valve here, you know, to send signal to the ECU. And also we're gonna be deleting the drive-by-wire system, you know, that come with the JZX 110. Sucks, but you know, it is what it is. You could actually get a JZX 100 throttle body and put it into the intake manifold. They are 100% interchangeable. But the only thing is you won't have this valve, so you have to put this regardless, you know, so it can control your idle. So this is what comes in the box when you get a Powerhouse Racing valve, right? This is actually a 4 IVAC valve, right? Come with this adapter plate that actually would sit like this, right? Like so, okay? Now you got some bolt and nut in here. You know, actually this is some cups that I ordered for my injectors. And also you're gonna have this filter from Vibrant, and here's a Driftmotion you know, delete drive-by-wire delete kit. So that's pretty much it. We're gonna have to modify this threading area over here so we could just thread our nut in there. I already have one here. This is actually a M6 by 1.0. These are M8 by 1.25, I believe. So they're slightly larger. You know, this come with the kit, so I do actually want to install them. Let me just show you guys real quick. So actually, this is the flathead nut that come with the kit. So it will sit right here like so, and then right here like so. And then we're gonna have to probably, you know, open this up so this valve can take some reading. This is gonna be sitting, let me just put this like so, right? Something like this. You guys have an idea. All right, so one thing that I really recommend before you start tapping into things, just make sure that you grab your gauge, right, and measure this bolt over here. This is actually a M6 by 1.0. I actually want to see how much thread is gonna hold, you know, this little section over here, how much thread is gonna hold before it's bottom out. You don't want to just go ahead and sand it and really drill through this block over here and then cause like an air leak or something. You know, you might gonna have a vacuum leak, so you don't really want that. So I actually have this gauge over here to measure this bolt, the length of it. This is, I think this is about 12 millimeter, 14. I think this is 14 though. So you do actually have 14 millimeter of depth in here. You don't want to just go ahead and sand it, like I say, you know, and you know, break through the blocks. You don't really want that. So I might be able to do the same thing on this side, right? The 14 millimeter. It should be the same though. This is good. I mean, otherwise I would just, you know what? I'm just gonna do this size over here. This one over here. I think this is a 10 millimeter, is, if I'm correct. Let me just get this straight. Yep, this is actually a 10 millimeter. So it would just fit right in here, you know, before it penetrates to the other side. All right, so pretty much here, presenting the valve with the level. You want to make sure that everything is level. I mean, you could have it slanted down or slanted up, but you know, it is gonna actually make your swap very ugly. You know, it's all about details, you know. It is pretty straight right there, you know, just millimetrical. Just marking out everything before I, you know, drill into it, because once I drill into it, you know, there's no going back. Measure twice and cut once, so you know, just follow the rules. All right, so everything is marked up. We're gonna use a center punch. We're gonna hit it once, and then after that we should be able to start drilling. All right, so here's one done. I'm gonna do the second one now, and then the third one for last. So Liam, wanna say hi to the camera? Say hi, come on. Hi. Come on, man.
Hi.
Okay, good. So here's the second one. Everything went really well. Nice and flush. It came out pretty perfect, I would say. Here's a tap. And here's a drill. You could get this tap kit in Amazon. I think it was like $8 or something. This is actually a M8 by 1.25. It fits these two hex balls over here that come with the kit. Now what I gotta do is actually drill through the intake manifold. Now one thing that I don't know is how big this hole it should be. Right, so I spent about like good 10 minutes drilling through here, and I'm still not to the bottom yet. Look at all the aluminum shaving in here. It's crazy. Now one thing that I'm doing is I'm actually drilling it like standing up this way, so all the materials are coming out as it go, you know. So you don't want to just dump everything in there, you know, because later on to clean it is gonna be a bitch. So I mean, we still regardless gonna wash this over and over. Just make sure that everything is gonna be free of shaving. But yeah, I mean, just look at all that. All right, so here's the JZX 110 intake manifold. Here's the hole that we created, you know, so we could just run this aftermarket idler control valve. So at first I did a hole with a 3/8 drill bit, and then after some research that I did, I decided to go 1/2 inch. So I use a 1/2 inch drill bit, you know, I make this hole a little bigger, and also I made it this little mounting hole a little smoother, so I could just use it like so, right? This is gonna sit like this. it looks pretty nice down there. I got some gasket maker material, you know, so I could just make a gasket in the back here so it won't have any type of leak when I run the valve. Now there is some mixed information online that I'm actually confused about. So as per Powerhouse Racing on the website, it said that you actually require to use the stock check valve from the JZX 100. But there's a problem in here. I don't even have the check valve sleeve that I could just put one check valve in on this JZX 110 manifold. So pretty much what I'm planning to do is I'm gonna actually, you know, mount it, run it as it is, and I guess take it as a go, you know, because I'm not really sure how this is gonna work. Because there's people in the forum stating that if you don't run the stock check valve, you might have a boost leak. So obviously, you know, you don't want that. This actually came out pretty clean though, look at that. So this is how the plate is gonna sit, and this is how it's and this is how it's gonna be, and this is how it's the valve, and this is how it's gonna sit, and this is how the valve is gonna sit. Look at that, nice and clean. Another thing that I read about is you could actually run a 3/4 hose back into the charge pipe. So I don't know, there's a lot of mixed comments around, so it is actually very confusing. So like I said, I'm just gonna run it as it is. So if I'm gonna sit here and stress out about this, trust me, I will never finish that project. So what I'm gonna do next is actually the drive-by-wire delete. Here's the, you know, the throttle body, the ETCS eye. We're gonna actually delete that. Make sure that you take out all the shaving, clean it up really well. Clean twice and, you know, install once, so you should be good. All right, so what we have here is the JZX 110 ETCS eye throttle body. And also what we have here, this is actually the Driftmotion drive-by-wire delete kit. The process, it is actually very simple. We're gonna start by removing these 3 screws, 1, 2, and 3. Once the screws are out, we should be able to lift this up and do the swap. All right, so the 3 screws are out. Make sure that you know, put them in a safe place, don't lose them. Once the screws are out, we should be able to lift this up like so, very simple. And the part that we're gonna be replacing is this little metal bracket here. All right, so the kit is installed. It's very simple. Now the way how I actually did it, because this thing sometimes get really confusing, because you could put it this way or you could put it this way. So what I did is I set my, you know, throttle position sensor. I have it facing 9 o'clock this way, and then the Driftmotion plate, you know, is facing 12 o'clock, and you should be good. Looks good, very simple, plug and play. All right, so next we should be able to put this back in like so. Just go like this. We twist this back into the position, and also you can put your screws back in. One, this one go here. So once you have everything tight, don't over torque this, you know, you might strip them. You know, this is aluminum, so be careful. Just make sure that you inspect everything, make sure that everything is working correctly. Okay. Like so, everything open up at once. We're gonna go ahead and put a throttle cable in here. Not yet, I still gotta, you know, play with the pedal setting and stuff like that. We can turn over this side. This is actually the motor, the gear side. So we're gonna start by removing this cover. It's held up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. Once you take this out, you should be able to open this cover. All right, so once you have all the screw out, you should be able to open this cover like so. Come on, dude. Where's the flathead here? You just jank it up around here a little bit. Ding, ding. Here a little bit. There you go. Ta-da! Surprise! All right, so once it's open from here, the only thing that we need to take out is this guy over here. That's it. You're gonna put this on the side. You're gonna keep it, make yourself a necklace or something. But yeah, that's all we need. And then you're gonna start by putting this back up. So once you have all your screw back in, you know, you should be done with the process. Don't over tight this, because like I said, this is aluminum. You don't want to strip it, so you don't want to cause more problems, you know. Look, we took out this little gear and this little bracket, so now it is actually fully functional mechanically. You see, very simple process. Everything is, you know, pretty straightforward. Now we're gonna try to find a throttle cable for this, and ta-da, that should be it. So that's pretty much it for today's project, guys. So we did the Powerhouse Racing IBAC, install it, and also we did the drive-by-wire delete, you know, with the Driftmotion kit. Everything is doing pretty well. The only bad thing on the IBAC is I'm not really sure how that's gonna run. Like I said, I'm just gonna take it as it goes. But I mean, yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, follow, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.